Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
In a state of being thick, sticky, and semi-fluid, it's the Audience of One show on Conroe's 106.1 and 104.5 FM, streaming on irlonestar.com and available wherever you tend to get your podcasts from. On today's show, we discuss appliances that make great listeners, being deemed a foreign agent, and finding the ultimate air baseball card. I am Andrew, maestro of the run sheet, next to the guy who refuses to move for a relationship. It's Dick. I like tracking my friends. Schisler. You ain't tracking me, buddy. You ain't tracking me. I refuse. You don't need to know when I'm in the potty. When I'm at work. When I'm at the potty at work.
I'm all right with
man.
that. I'm all right with that. I mean, certain relationships thrive on it. Other relationships
Now, do you
not.
allow people to track you?
Yeah, I have certain friends that we like, especially like my brother. We always.
Although, how many places are you really going? And let's be honest here.
I mean, I think it shows a bond of trust.
It does. It shows something.
Because I've been in relationships with girls, and when someone says they're not tracking you anymore, or whatever, you're like, uh-oh.
They don't even care where your whereabouts are.
Yeah. I was like,
yeah. You know the relationship is on the rocks when they're no longer caring about your whereabouts.
Yeah, well, I always like those scenarios when you know someone's full of it. Because I'm one of those kind of people who will call you out on it.
Yeah.
But I'm okay. There's no solution or outcome to it.
Okay. What do you mean?
Well, it's like, say I call you out for lying or call you out for that kind of thing.
That would never happen, but let's pretend.
Let's just pretend.
Pretend.
And then you try to work your way around it. And like in this particular case, they were like, oh, I updated my phone and it's just not working. I'm like, well, and I go, okay, pull out your phone. Let's track each other now. Let's do it right now. Let me see your phone.
You're that guy.
And she's like, oh, no, we'll do it later. I'm like, no, there's nothing like the present. And
you're a forced tracker.
Well, that at that time was my wife. So I felt, and I use it to my advantage all the time.
A little bit different scenario, I suppose.
I use it to my advantage at the time because you always say, like, hey, you know where I'm at.
Nothing says I love you and I trust you like, let me track you on your phone. Let me put a device that has a GPS locator on it so I know where you're at every minute of the day. I love you, honey. Mm-hmm.
Well, ironically, she's the one that wanted to do the original tracking. So when it says, hey, they stopped.
So when it's reversed.
And I go, oh, okay. So you updated your phone, huh?
You just weird. Automatically turn that feature off.
Yeah.
It's the new iOS feature. Remove tracking option.
So I always enjoy that kind of conversation. But then again, it's like, but I don't care. Like, I didn't really care. I was like, I don't.
Yeah, I know.
And then
you have nothing to hide.
Well, that's
pure as the wind-driven snow.
Well, I mean, in those scenarios, it's like, okay, so she's like, do you want me to turn it on? I'm like, yeah, you're just going to turn it off. Like, we know who you are.
Yeah.
We know.
Let's be honest
You've shown yourself, okay?
The moment you leave the house, it magically disables itself,
I like
right?
it.
Yeah.
And then what I always like about the tracking thing, too, is especially like my brother and I, we always have this argument. When you go, hey, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. And then if he asks me that or I ask him that, our response is always the same. You can track me. You can see what I'm doing. Like, don't ask me stupid questions. Like, you know where I'm at.
Mm-hmm. I like when someone will repeat what you said earlier, and you're like, you don't have to tell me what I said. I was there when I said it.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing.
That's all right. Depends if I've been drinking or not.
This is true. This is our last episode before Christmas, so I guess technically...
Is it?
This is our Christmas special.
Oh, yeah.
Merry Christmas, Nicholas.
Right.
Merry
Christmas.
Moving?
I keep moving the camera. You keep
Me?
Moving. Yeah, you keep moving.
I don't believe I've moved from this spot.
We got it. It's been recorded. You've moved at least twice. But you know what? I'm sticking with the camera. I'm not looking over there anymore.
Okay. Speaking of cameras, you're back on your normal camera, so we can't see the behind the scenes in your spit can
it's still,
and your knife.
You know what this dude came in today, and he gave me some, not today, it was earlier this week. He gave me these sweet records.
Sweet.
Right?
James Henry.
Yeah, he's a blues guy.
Okay.
And then he gives me this.
Is that Don Henley's brother? Oh, that used to be an intact record.
So he gave me this.
Okay.
And
I don't know that I authorized James Henry
I don't
to
know if you can
advertise on
see
my
it.
show, but go ahead.
Well, no, I want to show you this. This
Okay.
is how creative this man is.
All right.
It gives me a CD. I love artists that give you an LP or you buy an LP, and then it comes with like an MP3 download or a CD version of it included
Sure.
in the price.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, if you notice at the bottom, what do you think this is inside the package?
Some zigzags for some
That's
cigarettes.
some zigzags for cigarettes.
Cigarettes,
And
in finger quotes.
I started laughing, and I go, dude, because he's a really good guitar player.
Included with your purchase are zigzags.
And it's his art. I think he's an artist, too. I think he drew
You
everything.
know, that's awfully presumptuous of him to assume that you might be someone who enjoys
Well-
your own hand-rolled smoke.
Well, then I
Maybe he's just saying my music is
This-
better if you're a little high.
this album right here, right?
I'm liking the art.
So you
Yeah.
like the art,
I actually do. Yes,
So it's all instrumental.
of course it is.
And he
man.
said this. He
It's
goes,
pretty cool,
oh,
man.
he did the
The first song is called "The Art of Noise."
yeah. Oh, and he goes, this is one of those records you turn the lights off, man.
Oh yeah,
And I go, I am down. No, there's no rolling papers in this one.
interesting.
Well, anyway, I was like, that's actually pretty smart when you're trying to like get your name out there, and that's like clearly now I know what kind of music he's doing, right? And then he goes, I also have a rolling tray, and I've never heard of this. I was like, what's a rolling tray?
Well, come on. What do you think it is?
Well, why would you need a
it's
tray?
not a tray on wheels. I can tell you that
I know,
much.
but in my mind, I go, if you're rolling cigarettes, people just do it like this, boop, 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 boop. And or at least the ones I've seen people do. And he pulls out this really cool long tray, and it had like he designed it. And I go, is this your merch box? Like, who has this stuff to give away? And he's like, do you want one? I'm like, I'm sorry, man. I have zero use for that. Like, I know that's not what you want to hear. And he understood what I
Now,
meant.
if you have a snorting tray, I might could
No,
use
that's
that.
he said it's multi-use.
Multi-use. Okay.
And I'm sitting there going, man, I love people, but that's just so funny to me. Like, imagine going to a concert and he's at the merch table and it's like, oh, you want a rolling tray? I never really thought of that one. Yeah.
Most people have T-shirts. Not this
No,
guy.
he gave me a T-shirt.
Not this guy.
Look, I don't even. Look, I got
All right. Well, James Henry, you sound like a pretty cool guy.
He's a cool guy, man. And his music is pretty good. He knows how to play the guitar.
Well, if you wouldn't mind, maybe we'll play a song of his on our outro or something. I don't know.
I don't know. I'll talk to him. But that was really interesting. So shout out to that guy. I thought you would enjoy the rolling papers.
Well, I enjoy the fact that he puts them in with his
and
records.
let's see this
I don't know
t-shirt.
that I
haven't
would
even
enjoy
looked at
rolling
this.
papers. All right, Dick is showing the camera another T-shirt. Oh, wow, look at that.
And that's what he looks like.
That's a self-portrait, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Looks like a man who enjoys his long hair.
You know that reminds me. I was wearing this the other day, like how iconic cigarette smoking is now.
Iconic.
Well, I meant more of like
Definitely an indicator of a period in time.
the James
sure.
Dean.
Yeah, a
you know,
period
he's
of time,
sitting there
yes.
and he's just like with his jacket leaning
Right.
back, similar to this. It's him having a little cigarette that's halfway hanging out. It looks very uncomfortable to have like that much ash. But now today it's the vape, right?
Yes.
And I don't think there's any scenario, even in like 50 years in the future, that will look cool.
I think you have an excellent point.
You know what I'm talking about?
No one can possibly look really cool while they're hiding their vape pen in their
Yeah.
hand.
Now, if they get like a Cruella de Vil style
Yeah.
vape pen, so it's just long, I mean, that would be pretty tight. I'd be like, you're going for it, man. I like it. Or like a Hunter S. Thompson kind of thing. Mm-hmm. They made the style.
sure.
Like, that would be.
I would tend to agree with you on that one. Hard to make vape.
But
Vapes aren't going to stand the test of time, I don't think.
No, I think they will.
Especially since everyone who's vaping now probably won't be with us in 50 years.
No, not even that. So
throw
this
that out
weekend,
there.
I went to go see my best friend. And,
Sorry if you vape, guys.
yeah, vapors, do whatever you want.
Yeah, I don't care either.
We're in his car, and he's like, oh, you want a vitamin vape? And I go, what on earth is a vitamin
All
vape?
right. Now we're trying to trick up our vapes to put
Oh,
vitamins in.
and he's like, oh, this-
Stuff's got minerals in it, bro.
No, like,
electrolytes.
this is a real
it's the
thing.
stuff that plants crave.
It's a real thing. Like it has,
I'm sure
it doesn't
it
have
is.
nicotine in it. It doesn't have the.
Hold on.
It's
just vitamins?
It's just vitamins, and I kind of.
All right.
And I've given my
All
friend this look multiple times. I'm like, am I an idiot? Or you're an idiot? Or are we both idiots? Like, don't you see how?
First of all, Yeah, this is idiocracy come to life. Your body can only absorb so many vitamins.
Here we go.
And what's
Look,
the incentive to continue doing it unless it doesn't have some sort of
Here we go.
addictive property like nicotine?
Hold on, let me see if I can get the. Hold on, I gotta read.
I am going to end up moving out of your camera shot here because I can't see your screen now any longer.
Is that because of this?
Yeah. There I can kind of see it.
All right, give me a second.
Back in the day, you used to put these up on the big screen.
I can do that right now if you want to.
Nah, it's not that big of a deal. I have to turn this away to see it anyways.
Well, go ahead and do it. I don't care.
I'd be staring at a blank screen anyways.
Oh, I'm turning it on right now. Okay, so here I'm at a. It's
Okay.
called Health Vape, dude.
Vita Vapes. All right.
$20. Let's see. I want it like vitamin B12. Like, come on, caffeine, melatonin. Does that make you go to sleep? Isn't that what melatonin
Yeah,
is?
melatonin supposedly for sleep.
Energy. They have
And to think our forefathers had to eat like broccoli to get their vitamins. Now we can just light it up and smoke your way to good health.
let's see. B12. Yeah, see, I don't see anything with nicotine.
This is a good time to be alive, man.
But you understand what I'm talking about? Like, they're literally.
yeah, so it's
They're not trying to say, hey, this is for.
But I'm thinking there's got to be
for
a point
vaping.
at which your body can only absorb so much vitamin D, and then it becomes bad for you, right? But I'm guessing if it's B12, that's all energy related. And this is supposed to make you hyped up and get you a little buzz.
I just laughed when I saw that.
Yeah.
And, I like it. And, you know, this reminds me of another thing is how, you know, with people with their bodies and how obsessed they can get. Like, to me, like, did your B12 vape today? You know, that kind of thing.
Can you imagine it gets to a point where parents are putting these vape pens on the breakfast counter for their kids before they go to school? Did you take your puff of your B12 today, honey?
Yes.
Your Flintstones and your puff of B12.
So, I don't know who Luke Grimes is. You ever heard of Luke Grimes, the actor?
Luke Grimes?
Yeah, he's an
Sounds like
actor.
a country western singer.
So he actually is a country western singer, but he's in Yellowstone.
Okay.
And so I've seen a couple episodes of Yellowstone. Well, apparently it's like ended or ending or
The
whatever.
last season, yes. This is,
So-
season 5 is going to be the last.
You know how with these actors, they usually do this PR stuff to be on different shows and different promotional thing. Well, you ever seen like the Men's Health YouTube channel where it's like, what does Henry Cavill consume in a day?
Yes, I have seen
And it's like,
those.
what's your workout? And like,
Sure, of
what's your,
course.
you know, this kind of stuff. I watched his because I was just curious. And the way he answered the questions, you would love. Because they're like, okay, what is your daily regimen of food? And he's like, I usually eat protein with potatoes. And they're like,
very generic.
Yeah, it's like anything. Oh, no, I usually just have steak, fish, or chicken. I like potatoes.
And yet this video has like 4 million views.
But like, if it was some other, it'd be The Rock. The Rock would be like,
Right.
I protein shake in the morning.
Yep.
And then I do a line of B12 grounded up at this, gram level.
But only through a vape pen.
And then I do the vape pen. And then I do another protein shake. And then I only eat kale that has been dehydrated. And, all this kind of stuff. And this whole video talking about what his workout is. And he's like, I'm not fancy. I just work out. Like, I don't travel with a gym. Like, I'll go pay $15 at World's Gym to get a workout in. And they're like, oh, what's your regimen at the gym? I just work on areas. Like, I'll just lift weights. And I'm like, this
Seems boring.
Well, no, it's just funny because if you look at every other Men's Health thing, they get really into it. Well, I like frozen berries because if you do frozen berries, everyone gets in their own health head.
They can, I suppose.
Yeah.
Not you, though. No. Au contraire.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't really. I kind of look at it as if I deteriorate.
That's close. You're doing great.
Was it deteriorate?
Deteriorate. There's a whole
Deteriorate.
nother syllable in there. Yeah.
Deteriorate.
Deteriorate.
Yes. When I do that, I kind of just want to accept
But
it.
think about how much time you're saving by leaving out that syllable.
That's true.
Over the course of a lifetime, think of how many times you might say the word
Well, if
deteriorate.
I add like an accent to it, you're kind of like, excuse me for doing it wrong. Deteriorate.
they might understand that. It's just dick.
Yeah, it's just tick. But no, it got me thinking about our billionaire friend and his
he
regimen
is-
because I wanted to see him on the Men's
He
Health.
is in a story on this week's
Oh,
show.
yay!
We have an update. Yes.
I really love that.
I have a feeling this is going to be a long episode. Maybe this will be our gift to the onesies.
No,
a
we're
little
just
bit
gonna have
longer.
fun. We're gonna have
a
fun.
little bit longer episode. I just have a feeling.
But I
We've got
wanted
a
to
lot of
shout out to
stuff.
Luke Grimes for changing up the system where he's like, I don't get fancy. I just
I'm
work
just
out.
naturally beautiful.
Well, yeah. I mean,
That's what he says.
but it's just
That's
I
what
love
means.
it. Especially people who are that disciplined. Because
To eat protein and potatoes, yeah, it sounds like it takes a lot of discipline.
Well, that's what the joke was. He's like, my girlfriend's more disciplined than I am. And then I think he even started talking about her regimen because he's like, my regimen's simple. I just eat
Let me
protein."
guess, she's attractive.
Well, yeah, every woman you're with is attractive. Do you hang out with ugly chicks?
Never, not once.
Yeah.
Not even once.
Isn't that funny?
Amazing how that works.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, that's how I live my life. If you look at every one of my
All right,
conquests.
moving on. Are you ready to start the show?
No,
Let's
I
kick off
I
the
want to
show,
see how your
man.
weekend was. Did you have fun?
I didn't do anything this weekend, man. I did do some Christmas shopping, I guess. And it was funny because this time of year, parking is kind of at a premium at most of these places. And I was like, oh, man, where am I going to find parking? Oh, look, there's like 5 open spaces at this shopping center. And when I got up to them, it said, reserved for valet. And I'm thinking, who's going to this shopping center and getting valet?
Probably if they have like a certain store that's fancy.
It's
like,
gotta be, right? Because to me,
Where
if
were
you're
you?
willing to
Where were you?
it is an unnamed shopping center at this point. I will just put it that way.
Well, I mean, is it the Woodlands Mall or is it Market Street?
It was Market Street. But
yeah, I get that.
Right, exactly, because there's some high-end retailers there. But what's funny to me is, like,
Not only that, there's restaurants.
there are, but you're willing to walk around looking for an item that you're going to shop for, but you're unwilling to walk that extra 100 feet from your car to said shopping center. It's just kind of funny to me. I don't know. I'm not a big valet guy. I'm like, dude, I'm just there for a sweater. I think we might be over
Yeah,
valet.
go online.
Yeah, exactly.
So I
Go
encountered
online.
this scenario this weekend, and I wanted to get your opinion
By
on
the
it.
way, should smaller cars also pay less for parking? I think so. It kind of reminds me of like my jeans. Why do I pay the same price for my 3032s that someone with like a 4238 is going to pay? Right? I find all this interesting. If I drive a small car, shouldn't I get a discount on parking? But no, the guy in the big honking F-250 that's taking up 3 spaces paying the same amount. I don't get it, Dick. I don't get it.
I guess.
Continue.
I guess it's kind of
Sorry, I labeled this Andrew's Rants. You should have known something was coming.
No, so I encountered this scenario this weekend, and I went out of town to visit friends. And one thing I like to do,
And now encounters with Dick.
so one thing I like to do for friends is cook for them as a thank you for letting me stay at their place and spend time. So I brought my grill and I brought food, and I asked several times like,
You
how many?
traveled with your
Oh,
grill.
yeah, well, they don't have a grill, and I really wanted.
Oh, you put it in the back of the Cybertruck. I got
dog,
it. Nice.
Yeah, dog.
Cool.
But anyway, I go, hey, how many people are going to be there? Because I can buy food, and I'll go to the grocery store and take care of that. Well, a couple of other people showed up, right? More than what I had. And I was wondering, since I was cooking, all the food got eaten. And I was like, do I want to make a point about, like, that's kind of rude. Like, we only had so many hamburgers, hot dogs, steaks, and
Were you expecting leftovers, or do you mean you didn't get any?
I didn't really get any.
So you're just the cookie.
Yeah, and then I got the scraps basically, and I was kind of like, I was like, where'd all the food go? Like, I'm glad someone ate it, and then I realized, oh, there's a lot more people here than that was on the list I was given, and I knew who they were because I had the list, and I was like, I think I'm going to say something. I think
You're a stickler.
Yeah. Well, like, for example, another scenario similar. My aunt had a beach house, and she let me use it for my ex's birthday, and I was like, hey, we have 6 beds. You can invite whoever you want. I'll sleep on the floor, so you can do whatever. It'd be nice if we slept together, but I get it. It's your birthday, and she puts together this list. They come over. One guy's going to be real late, like at 1 a.m. Mm-hmm. Well, this other couple invited other people. Didn't really know about it.
They ate your hot dogs, didn't they?
No. Well, of course, since my ex was in charge of inviting people, she neglected to tell me that these extra people are coming. I'm like, hey, we don't have any extra beds. Like, there's no blow-ups. There's no, like, you're literally sleeping on a piece of furniture outside. Well, they took one of the guy's beds because he was so late, right? And I made a huge stink about it. I was like, hey, that's very rude. Like, you weren't supposed to be, like, you weren't invited. And you took his bed. And I made a big deal. And then at the end, I go, hey, since everyone stayed for free, usually what I like to do for my aunt, so letting us use this house, we buy her a nice gift in the Strand.
You took that gift, didn't you?
No, like, usually I go, we get her something like a piece of art or like my...
But you made this up so that you
No,
could
we
get
usually
something out
do.
of it.
We usually do. And we leave it there with a thank you note, like, thank you so much.
Okay.
And so I was like, everyone could chip in $10,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, but you get to chip in 25.
This guy, it's not his fault. He was invited.
Oh, I
You
said,
need to punish the guy who invited him, not the invitee.
No, I told the guy to leave.
You punish the invitor.
Yeah, I was just mad my friend didn't have a place to sleep. And
I bet. And you're taking it out on the poor guy. He's like, jeez.
No, she deserved it. She was a mean lady.
Okay.
And
all right.
And she refused to give the $25. She wouldn't even give the $10. And I was like, yeah, see my point? She's a terrible person.
Now your aunt is getting screwed in.
No, they got some good tea.
All right. All right, buddy, let's go ahead and
you know talking about the scenarios?
I do know those scenarios. Let's kick off this show before we run out of time.
No, we're going to keep talking about scenarios.
A Central Oregon city... You got to play our intro music.
No,
a Central Oregon city is asking a local vandal to stop putting oversized, googly eyes on some popular sculptures and statues, even though the results may give you a chuckle. And this is pretty funny. I want you to show the picture to the onesies. But this is a small city. I believe it is Bend, Oregon. You ever been to Bend, Oregon? Or does your organ bend? I don't know. If it is, you can take some medicine for that. There's some statues around the city. I guess this is done in an attempt to beautify this, and some local vandal has decided to put googly eyes on these statues. And I have to admit,
they look good.
It's actually awesome. In fact, it makes these statues look even better. And if you're watching us on YouTube right now, you can see some of the pictures that we have. It looks like there's like a deer or a fawn there, and there's some googly eyes on it. It's greatness. But apparently this is costing the city money. They said they have spent almost $1,500 having to remove the googly eyes. So they're asking this vandal to please stop and consider
$1,500? They couldn't go do Goo-Gon?
That's what I'm thinking. You could just put some, like a heat gun on it, and they'll just fall right off, I would think. Right? I don't know. They said there could potentially also be some damage to the statues from the adhesive that the eyeballs are using.
Well, I love it.
I love it,
If
man.
you read the language.
This looks like something you would do.
This is great. You'll read the language. This to me, this town's full of pranksters. I love this. So this is the official message from the city. While we don't condone the wreaths, I guess Leis, lays? Is that lays?
Lays.
And Santa hats, let's stay away from adhesives, graffiti, and all things that can damage the art. So someone's going around putting
Mighty
Santa
Putty.
hats.
They need to use Mighty Putty.
They're okay with the Santa hats. Just don't use adhesives.
That's right.
And I think it's great. I think the googly eye ball one I'm showing on screen looks 10 times better.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Otherwise,
it's just a boring ball.
Like if I saw that,
now it has life.
See this?
Give it some
this
life.
is a joke, but this actually looks like art. Joke?
Art is in your mind.
So
art is in your mind.
Yeah, googly eyes. I like it. I mean,
anyways, I want you to play this video that I queued up for you in the run sheet, but it is quite, I don't know whether or not to be really impressed or to be really scared, but Toyota's basketball-playing robot sets the world record for the longest shot. Now, the video is just that. It doesn't have any details about the shot
80 feet
itself,
away, huh?
But I believe it is 80 feet. Now, I don't understand why Toyota has a robot that would be shooting a basketball. To me, it looks like he should probably be putting a spark plug in a Tacoma, but whatever. And it's kind of neat. And if you're just, again, listening and not watching, we've got a video, I guess, from Toyota's, I don't know, gym. Do they have a gym there in their factory?
I mean,
and they've got a humanoid-looking robot that's picking up a basketball and just ka-chunking them halfway across the court and making them. I don't understand, though, why they have to make this thing humanoid. Because you could probably make a robot that could make baskets every single time, but it wouldn't look like a human. It would just be some sort of catapult or whatever. You would calibrate it properly. But they went through the trouble to make this dude. And why does he have to be that color? Just going to throw that out there. I'm not sure why they had to make a basketball-playing robot that color.
Well, it's probably.
I find that
usually,
racist.
Actually, no. I think if you look that up, like robot color racism or something like that. It's a legit thing.
What?
But I remember reading like the reason it is depending on the plastics they used. There's a natural color to plastics, and I think it's white, and that's why they kept saying like, "Hey, why are all the robots white?"
Oh, so they purposely made the basketball-playing robot black. Huh?
Well, from what I remember that article is really funny to me because those scientists work so hard and they're in the news for being racist, and they're like, actually, that's how it comes out of the machine, and we don't really care.
A likely story.
We don't really care about coloring it because we're testing
This
it.
robot plays tennis. That one plays basketball. Yeah, I get it. I see what you're doing.
But You know, this makes
I
me.
don't know how this helps Toyota is what I'm basically getting at.
No,
though.
it's probably R&D.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah, and then because it's all about programming. Really, it's funny how when
Right,
people,
if we can program a robot to fling a ball from 80 feet into a basket, imagine what we could do with your exhaust pipes.
Well, they were talking about.
Corolla.
I was listening to this thing from the guys from Boston Dynamics who make all the scary looking dogs.
Oh, I've seen them.
And they were talking about
person.
really the main reason they're doing all this is just for the programming, not for the machines itself, because it's all about developing a program that they can tell any machine to do anything.
Right.
And it was really interesting. But one thing I also want to ask you,
yes,
and this is, I always put myself in the situation of a smart person who's like having these conversations.
Sometimes it's tough to do. I understand.
It really is. And like I can imagine being in the meeting with the robot people, and I'm like, let's see how he could handle a gun.
That's the next step, man.
You know,
that's the next logical step. Let's weaponize these things.
Well, that's what I'm like. That'd be like my first step.
I think we need to really test this theory out. You have one robot shooting a basketball, another robot with a gun pointed to that robot's head.
And shooting the ball?
No.
Oh,
he's like,
no.
if you don't make it, I'm going to shoot you. And see if the threat of violence affects him making the basket.
I would completely reverse this challenge. I'd be like, instead of going for the longest basketball shot, I'd be like the longest known confirmed kill from a sniper. And I'd be like, let's get this robot.
You are all about violence.
Well, I'm just saying, like, that would be hilarious if they put a video out. Like, look, we taught this robot to shoot over 1,700 yards.
I think at some point it also has limitations on the gun, right?
Well, yeah, but that's the joke. It's like, are robots better than humans?
I would think they could calibrate the wind and all of that stuff probably better than a human being could be.
Be great.
Potentially.
Another shocking video. You ever seen those videos of like of Keanu Reeves and stuff training for John Wick? And it's
yeah, for sure.
Doing the target stuff. Let's get the robot to do that.
Heck yeah.
And like have this. Oh, see, that's when you freak people out.
I don't know. I'm pretty freaked out about a robot shooting a basket. Staying on weird appliances and robots, your air fryer and likely other app control devices in your life is harvesting a ton of your personal information. Watchdogs in the UK and US are taking notice and trying to curb the flow of sale inside and outside of the country. That was not the sentence I wanted to read. But anyways, apparently there's a new set of air fryers that are
perfect
listening to you and whoever purchased them. And I guess that's true with, again, a lot of these smart devices. And I guess the idea here is you can put something in your air fryer and say, set the timer for 15 minutes. Let me know when internal temperature reaches, 165. So it's got to be listening to you. Well, it's also listening to you when you're talking dirty to the missus.
Red rum.
Are you into the air frying phenomenon that's sweeping the nation?
Well, you know what I learned today? Speaking of AI technology or technology listening to you, did you know in Teslas that if you sign up, I guess it's like a package deal when you get the assisted driving package, that it monitors your eyes 24/7?
Absolutely. So if you look away, it knows you're not paying attention.
Not only if you look away, if you're not paying attention
sleeping.
and it's like negligent, you get a mark from Tesla.
Oh, bad boy.
If you get 3 marks, they remove the program.
your ability to have the driver assist.
Yeah.
It's kind of smart, actually.
Well, yeah, but you paid for it. So that's one of those funny things that the world puts you in.
Well, the ICO is working on new guidelines or guidance for manufacturers of smart products, which will be published in the spring of 2025. The guidance will outline clear expectations for what they need to do to comply with data protection laws and, in turn, protect people using smart products.
You know, I would do another joke, too, with these robots.
This page reset.
You know what I'll do?
I hate this.
You know what I would do?
Yes, Gizmodo.
So I would film me. I get home, and I'm like, ugh. And then I put a wig on the robot. Right?
Yeah, you would.
And I'd turn it on, and I'd be like, sit down.
How would you turn it on? Would you talk dirty to it?
Yeah, you just hit it on the chest.
Okay.
Really hard. You're like, wake up!
Okay.
And you sit down on the couch, and you're going, oh, man, I forgot. Hey, baby, give me a beer. And then it'd be like, goes to the fridge and gets me a beer.
Sounds like your dream scenario.
Groundbreaking. Groundbreaking.
Now, baby, shoot a basketball from 80 feet. Yeah. Oh, it's so hot.
Well, I'm just trying to I want to give these guys ideas how they can display the magic of what they created. And it's like, now you can get your baby to get you a beer. Or make it a dog. That'd be cool. Right?
Absolutely. From NPR.
You've been to restaurants that have robot waiters, right?
No, I haven't, Dave.
It's creepy as hell.
I imagine. No, I haven't. You have.
Yeah.
you smack one on the butt.
No,
What's up, toots?
So down the street, there's like a soup place, I guess. Like they give you broth and you mix. They have like a turntable thing, that conveyor belt that sends all this food, and you add it to your boiling. There's like a boiler on your table. You ever been to a place like that?
I have, yes.
So if you ordered a certain item, they put it on this cat waiter, and it has ears like a cat, has a cat face, and it has no belly. It's where the food is, and it has paws. And then it's like, because I'm just sitting there, I'm like,
it's like something out of a Japanese horror film.
It was. I'm sitting there like trying to figure out. I've never been there. I'm like trying to grab the food as fast as I can. All of a sudden, it's like, hello, and I'm like, what?
Meow meow. No soup for you. No soup for you.
And
meow
it's
meow.
like your food ready. And then I'm like, oh, cool.
What did it say? How
your food ready.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, oh, what a place, nostalgic. And then I grab it, and then it just sits there, and I'm looking at my buddy, and I go, are we supposed to tip the robot? Like, how do you make it go away? It's just looking at it.
I'm not tipping a robot. Sorry.
Well, no, that's what I was thinking. I was
I might tip it over.
Because I can understand, like, they have a sensitive pad where when you lift the food, it's like, okay, food is out, I'm out. It just sat there for like 4 minutes. I was like, this is really creeping me out. Like,
So you're saying this robot had like the robot version of Asperger, didn't quite understand the social scenario of like, hey, this conversation, this social interaction
most people-
is over. You can leave now.
it's kind of like that guy who helps you with your luggage.
Right? Yeah.
He'll hang out by the door and be like,
So, yeah.
And then, so I was sitting there going like, how the hell do we get this thing out of here? And I hit it in the head. I was like, maybe it's like this. And then maybe like you hit its paw. And I was like, this is so wild.
Like the lucky
yeah,
cat.
that's what I was like. How does this work? And here, let me see if I can find a picture of it for you.
In the meantime, why you should take a, quote, fart walk after a meal. Post-meal walks to release gas are called fart walks and have become popular on social media. Oh, Bellabot. She looks like, I like her eyes.
Yeah, she was cute.
Yeah. It's a nice little kitty.
But yeah, I had a great time with it because I was like, I want to keep ordering that food just so I can like mess with the
cat. Robot. You're all about messing with it. But NPR health correspondent Maria Godoy says the science is solid on this trend. She shares that many health benefits of walking after meals and eating is better digestion, more balanced blood sugar levels, and a healthier gut microbiome, including the ability to toot a little bit more. Nick, do you like to take walks after a meal?
If I eat a lot of food, I love to get up and go fart.
This is what they're saying. You should take a fart walk.
Yeah. Like, I remember I've been in scenarios like with my mom and dad or like a significant other, and after like a very tasty meal, I don't want to be there anymore. Like, I just want to get out of the restaurant because I got to get outside. And it got to the point where my significant other goes, "Oh, do you need to go take your walk?" And I
know what you're up to.
And I go, you don't have to be nice about it. I'm going to go fart. Okay. So sorry, everybody.
Man, you were ahead of the curve on this. This apparently is a new health trend. You're like, no, I've been doing this forever, man. Fart walks. I just love that they give it a name. The internet is great for everything.
Well, I mean,
love it.
It depends on what you eat, though. Sometimes
This is true.
if you go eat like a salad, I don't feel like I need to get up. But
Depends if there's a lot of raw broccoli in it.
yeah.
All right, last story before the break. Ahead of Christmas, a pro-Kremlin activist has pushed for Santa Claus to be branded as a foreign agent in Russia,
Let's play a game.
according to the Russian outlet Medusa. By the way,
This is great.
Foreign newspapers always have better names than ours. It's like the Boston Globe, whatever, New York Times. This is Medusa.
Yeah.
I love it.
So
Okay,
we
game
can,
time.
Game time is we can use the Russian asset on anybody in the world. Who would you want to accuse of being like kind of like the Red Scare? So clearly someone had a personal grudge against Santa, and they're like, "Hey, just call him a Russian asset."
I'm about to tell you why.
Well, I'm just saying you could say anybody today. Who would it be?
I don't know any Russians.
No, I
the
meant like
problem.
you're using the excuse of calling him a Russian to get him out. Like, I hate this person. They're annoying. Let's just call him a Russian asset and get him out of here.
Huh.
Who would you do? Who would you choose?
Diddy.
Did he really? I think he's already on the way out. Like that's already
That's a waste.
That's
Yeah.
already been taken care of. I think it'd be hilarious if it's like Elon Musk.
Yeah, but he's about to fix everything, so you don't want to kick him
Well,
out.
I'm just saying it'd be funny. Personally, who I find annoying,
Okay.
it'd probably be like Mariah Carey. I think that would be hilarious.
Yeah. All
If
she wants for Christmas is to not be a Russian.
Well, imagine you read that
Mark.
headline: Mariah Carey found his Russian asset. I'm like, but what did she find out?
foreign agent.
Yeah, foreign agent. It's like, what did she really do though?
This is funny, but Vitaly Borodin, the leader of the Federal Project on Security and Combating Combating Corruption, that's funny, sent a letter to Russia's prosecutor general imploring the iconic Christmas figure to be designated as a foreign agent due to his, quote, popularity in unfriendly countries, which use his image to undermine traditional Christmas values. Okay, I'm not sure how Santa Claus is undermining traditional values, but he continues that Santa Claus will overshadow not only Jesus, but also Father Frost, a Russian New Year figure. And I want you to show the onesies a picture of Father Frost.
All right, give me a second.
And it's pretty cool. I have one picture up. There's many of them. And I guess this is Russians' version of Santa Claus. And I have to admit, he's pretty bad A-looking, man. like if our Santa Claus and the Russian
right?
Father Frost,
That's him with his hot wife?
Yeah, had to face off. I think old Saint Nick might find himself in trouble. He looks a little bit like Santa Claus from Middle Earth. I don't know. A lot of the stuff they show him, he's in like blue outfits. It looks pretty tight. I don't know, man. Borodon is not only calling for the end of Santa Claus's influence in Russia as the deputy of blah, blah, blah. He also called for Santa Claus items to be removed from store shelves and replaced with Dead Moroz, also known as Father Frost. Dead Moroz.
Oh, Lays. Oh, that's what a lay is? God, I'm an idiot. Sorry, I was looking at something else.
Yeah. All right, man. It's probably a pretty good...
I'm kind of confused from that article. That's why
Okay.
I had to finish that thought to get to the thought I want to tell you. So this is in Russia.
Yes.
They want
to ban images of Santa Claus in Russia.
They want the world to claim that Santa Claus is a Russian agent?
No, they want, in Russia...
Yeah, in Russia.
Santa Claus to be identified as a Russian agent, thus eliminating him from...
Well, how would that eliminate him if they're in Russia already?
I'm sorry, foreign agent.
Okay.
Not Russian agent. Foreign agent.
Now I'm following. I was so confused.
I said foreign agent earlier. I know. But they want him deemed as a foreign agent. Thus, you would have to eliminate all of his images and whatnot because he's taken the shine away from Father Frost or whatever his name is.
Didn't Poland do that to, like, Islamic folks?
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
That's kind of...
Why don't you look it up on your phone?
Because you know what's sad?
Yeah.
My curiosity is always like, I wonder what it would be like to live in a world or an existence that, like, someone comes out one year, hey, Santa Claus banned. And I'd be like,
that's what they're trying to do, man.
I know, but like, imagine it being severe ban. Like, if you're found with a Saint Nick ornament or something, you're going to jail and you're not getting out.
I don't know what the...
that would be the kind of like Fahrenheit 451, kind of like you find the books,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, what's going to happen? It's just a book. Oh, we're going to shoot you in the face and burn you. And you're like, what?
It does not say what the punishment would be, but he's just calling for it. I think this guy has a stick up his...
Oh, I would love to have a beer with this guy. But tell me, what's the deal? Like, how much money are you making from this?
Yeah, I think he's getting a little bit jealous of our Santa Claus. All right, it's a good time to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the word of the year and who just decides who gets to be on our money. Right here on the Audience of One show.
Every Friday, tune into Texas Ticket on Conroe's 104.5 and 106.1 FM with Armando Nino of Gull Lake Conroe, focusing on Montgomery County area events and places. Get a feel of the Texas spirit at the event, paired with guest and vendor interviews, event coverage, and ticket giveaways, and so much more. Join us Fridays and punch your Texas Ticket. For more information on the show, visit irlonestar.com/Texas Ticket.
All right, onesies. We back. You're listening to Audience of One on Lone Star Community Radio, irlonestar.com, worldwide, and Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1. Just to let the onesies know, if you're a new onesie, we're here every Friday at 10 a.m., part of the morning programming with Lone Star Community Radio Partnership. And this is a volunteer show. We always rely on donations, so feel free to visit us online at irlonestar.com/AOO if you feel like you want to donate and help out the station. if we gave you some laughs, or I just hope people who listen think like Dick is so stupid. I feel so much better about myself.
Oh, trust me.
Knowing that this man exists.
Trust me.
This little boy. This little angry little boy.
The one I always get is he really like that in real life? I'm like, yep, that's him.
Well,
I
so
love it.
if you really do ask that question, just imagine it to 11 when we're off the air, because
You dial it back a little bit, yes, I would
Well,
agree.
like I always find myself saying the most ridiculous stuff, not intending to, and it's
No
not
way.
necessarily offending people. It's more of like, did you just say what I think you just said? I'm like, did I say what I just? I
bet you did.
I think I did.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, I've done that. Especially what I love is when you're trying to talk about something complex like racism.
Yeah, I know you struggle with complex thoughts.
It's
Yeah,
really hard to like.
conversations.
Especially like one of my favorite was back like 4 years ago. There was this lady who always came in on my morning show to help me do some stuff, and after a while, she's like, "Are you a misogynist?" And she was genuine, and I go, "What do you mean?" It's like you're always kind of making fun of women. I'm like,
Here's a tip for you, Dick. Try to avoid complex conversations. Let's just stay away from them altogether. Might help you out a little bit.
yeah,
Otherwise, people might think you might be racist and or misogynist. No,
Well,
bro, I was making a joke.
yeah. It's like I don't know. It's people. You can, especially we have so many shows, and my voice has probably been recorded over 1,000 hours. You can find something like I misinterpreted something, or whatever.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
I think it's great. I think it's one. I kind of like that challenge though. It's like, is this guy actually like an R word? And I'm like, yes.
If there's one thing you are, it is not that. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, I know. It's there's a lot of smiles. So thank you so much for tuning in to Audience One at AOO. That's all we try to do is have a good time. I do want to remind listeners is there's two things. You can always submit funny articles to us at audienceoneshow@gmail.com or on our Facebook, Audience One Show with Andrew and Dick. And also on top of that, you can subscribe to us on podcasts. So just look up Audience of One on like Spotify and all that kind of stuff to keep up with our daily,
Musings
weekly,
and antics.
yeah. So last segment was kind of fun,
Yeah, it was, man.
wasn't it?
I love it. I love our show sometimes. I was out shopping, as I told you earlier, and I was in the line at a store that shall be unnamed.
Why do you
at
keep
this
doing
point.
that? Who cares?
No, only because it might give away a gift idea. Now I was at World Market. And you know when you're in World Market and you're checking out, they always have all these little candies and things?
yeah.
You know, I like World Market, by the way.
I don't know what it is, but it sounds like a grocery store.
It kind of. They have foods and snacks and things, even some small furniture items from all over
So how would you
the
describe
world.
it? Would you describe it like a Michael's with food?
No, because Michael's is more like a craft. This
So
is
this is like
this is
Trader
a finished.
Joe's?
This is like a finished product. No, it's mostly things that are already processed. Right, like a Trader Joe's is going to have food there that you'd have to keep cold. This is like think canned goods, cookies, wines,
What makes it unique?
materials, because it's supposedly imported from other parts
okay,
of the
so
world.
it's a specialty store.
Hence the name World Market. Yeah, kind of a specialty store.
kind of fun.
It is fun. It is fun. Like I
Do
said,
they have
I like
spicy
that.
things there?
They do.
Because I like
You can
those.
get some tzatziki sauce if you're so inclined. I'm sure they sell that there. Isn't that supposed to be kind of spicy? Or can be.
You talking about the chip?
No, it's like the white Greek sauce that you got to put on top of a pita. Think it'd be a little
Oh,
zingy.
that's good.
Yeah, that's not too
I thought it was
spicy.
aioli. I thought that's what it's called.
Maybe it is. I don't know, man.
I don't know, man.
I don't know either.
I don't know, man.
I don't even remember what I was saying. Oh, yes, I was standing in line waiting to check out, and I saw on a bag of candy there, it said gluten-free. And I thought to myself, well, of course it's gluten-free. It's hard candy. Do these people not think we know what gluten is? Gluten is from wheat, right? Like, unless it's like a breaded candy. Like, that's the stupidest thing.
But then again,
But the thing is, though, if you're someone who is on the lookout for gluten, right, you're aware of it because maybe you have a problem with it or you don't digest it, you know what it is. Thus, you're going to know it's not in hard candy. Like, it's sugar. It's hardened sugar in this candy. It doesn't have gluten.
well,
people.
ironically, that same notion comes with certain candy that says sugar-free. And I'm
yeah,
like,
but that's fake sugar. I'm sure.
But that's what I'm like.
Artificial sweetener.
When I see that on candy, I'm like, why would I buy that?
Well, to me, they were taking advantage of people's inability to digest certain things like gluten and putting it on something that obviously doesn't have gluten in there, so that somebody might go,
Oh, I'm talking about
oh,
sugar.
Hey,
It's like sugar-free.
hey, I can get this as
Red
gluten-free.
Bull.
You're not even allergic to gluten. That doesn't matter.
Because I wouldn't eat. Would you trust a candy that had sugar in it or not have sugar in it?
Oh, I want sugar in my candy.
But if it says no sugar, I'm like, I ain't trusting that.
How do you know they didn't sneak a little in?
Yeah.
Well, with this, they ain't sneaking any gluten in.
It's like, what am I eating? If it tastes like sugar, it's like,
fool me, just fool me.
Yeah, I don't get it.
You don't do diet sodas, then I bet.
No, I do diet sodas because they taste good, not because it's diet.
Okay.
Like Diet Dr Pepper tastes like a sweet. That's like a sweet to me.
I just think that things like when you put on the packaging gluten-free, it should be reserved for things that you're not sure if gluten might be in there or not, or it's something traditionally.
There gluten in milk?
No, it's a wheat byproduct. How hard is this?
Yeah, why don't they put that on?
So, like, if you're having a pizza and it's a gluten-free pizza, and they put gluten-free on there, you're like, because I would be expecting there to be gluten in the dough of the pizza. But don't put it on something where I'm not expecting it.
Many candies
can
include wheat.
Oh, my God, here we go.
Like Kit Kat bars contains wheat.
This was a hard candy, man.
I know. Licorice. Popular brands like Twizzlers and Red Vines contain wheat flour as an ingredient. Ooh.
That also has a cookie center in it. A Kit Kat, maybe not a licorice, but...
Licorice does not. Let's see.
Well, do they need to put contains gluten, full of gluten, on the packaging then?
What's a Werther's Original Chewy Caramel Candy?
That's the type of candy you're going to carry in your pocket when you get older to give to children and creep them out.
That has wheat in it.
Wheat in it?
Yeah, wheat in it.
Really?
Yeah, I just looked it up because I was thinking to myself, yeah, look for a gluten-free label.
Well, maybe I'm
you're
wrong.
mad about nothing.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I just thought it was kind of silly. I'm like,
I think that's how a segment we should have is Andrew's mad about nothing.
Andrew's ranting again.
Yeah.
Speaking of ranting about nothing, have you ever watched the
I just can't get over your parking thing.
My parking thing.
We were like, why do they have valet parking over here? And I'm like, where was I can't say it. It's like it's
well, I had a reason why I was going to say it. It's not that I can't say it. It's just if I had said it was Market Street, then you're going to go, well, that's why. This is Market Street. Whatever. They have valet. So I was going to save it for the end and say, well, it was Market Street. Perhaps that's the reason.
Well, they have parking garages there too.
Yeah, they do, and that's where the valet spots were.
I got lucky on top of one.
You got lucky what?
I got lucky on top of one of the garages.
You got lucky on top of one because you found a spot?
No, that's where we parked, and we were there all day for a festival.
And you found a spot.
And it was perfect. I made the comment while going up all those stairs. No one was up there. We were the only car. And I was like, hey, I think fate is telling us to hook up.
And you found a spot.
It was already there. The spot was already there. I didn't find it. Because when we parked, it was full parking lot.
Yes, I got it.
It was good. It's kind of like being in a movie theater by yourself with your partner.
Right.
You're like, hey, we're alone in there.
Popcorn trick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of...
Give me one of them wheat caramels.
Speaking of things that Andrew rants on that are probably not that big of a deal, the how-to videos that take too long. I had to change the battery in my key fob the other day, and I couldn't get the dang key fob open. So what do we do nowadays? We look up a Google video on how to change it, right? Now, this should take literally 17 seconds to show you how to open the thing up and change the battery. But these how-to videos annoy me because it takes 3 minutes for the guy to go, hey, everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you like what you're seeing, like and subscribe. And my name is such. If you might find some other videos that you might like down here at the bottom of the page. I'm like, I just want to know how to change the battery. That is the most annoying thing ever. I don't care what your name is. I don't care that you have a channel where you show me how to do all kinds of neat little tricks. Show me how to change the battery. So annoying. Have you come across this? Mm-hmm. And what do? You don't sit there and listen to the guy jabber. You scroll and you fast forward through all that crap because no one's listening.
You know, I met somebody who makes the official how-to videos of furniture building.
Oh, no, we've talked about it.
Yeah.
You've talked about it.
But it got me thinking, and I might have mentioned this because I had the same thought process, was you ever been in a relationship with somebody or known somebody in a relationship with somebody that's like they're either like a stay-at-home mom or they're kind of like they don't really have a full-time job, but they want to occupy their time with something that might make money. Like
secret shopper.
It might be a secret shopper. It might be like a Mary Kay thing, or it might be, whatever. Mm-hmm. And I never thought of that's what this lady did. She was a stay-at-home mom. How did you find this job? And she would use, like I said, she would use her husband as the hands and feet.
There you go. And she did the how-to videos, but she probably made them entertaining.
I would think, no, it had to be professional. So it's like on their official website for the furniture. But it got me thinking, I was like, how annoying would that get for you? Like, say you're the partner who goes to an office or whatever, and you come home and your wife's working hard, but she's like, hey, I need you to build this couch. And you're kind of like, do I get paid for this? No, you're free labor. Like, this is my side hustle, honey. Like, you got to do this for me. And then now I'm thinking about it. If my partner was building furniture, I'd be like, we got to do the test. So never mind. I take that back. Take that thought process back. You know what I'm talking about? Farm to table tests? Oh, yeah. That was so
Just letting you riff on this, bud. Just letting you riff.
But I was thinking about, like, why? Because you see people post, like, hey, I'm looking for a stay-at-home job.
Right.
And I always think, like, what are the craziest stay-at-home jobs? Like, you know, you'd be like one of those sex worker texter people, and then, like, what other jobs are there that are kind of like no one really thinks of?
I don't know, but that sounds great.
Like, I had a friend, you know what she did? This is kind of bizarre. She was the person who worked for, it wasn't Rudy's. What's another barbecue chain? Like Dixie's? Is it Dixie's?
Dickies.
So Dickies Barbecue, people don't know, it's a big chain that goes around the country, right? It's
I
all
believe
over.
so. I think it's all over.
So she was a dispatch caller for orders. So she had this program that someone would call the local Dickies, and it would forward it to her, and she's at home, and she has the headset, and she's got this, and it would say, like, from Missouri, and then it automatically got her to the Missouri store, and then she would take the order. So that means Dickies, when you call it Dickies, you're not calling the store itself. You're calling someone
sitting on their couch in their living room.
Yeah. And I thought that's amazing how that's a job. That's a stay-at-home job.
Yeah, it's a job for everyone. And you're like, I want this job.
Well, yeah. So if you're a onesie...
Is that what you're doing on your phone half the time during the show?
No, it's my feet pic, dog. Yeah, you know what's weird about feet pics? Now there's toenail conditions requests.
Oh, God. Last week it was belly button. Now you're talking about toenails.
Someone's like, I want to see that ingrown belly.
Oh, God. This show.
But it got me thinking, so if onesie out there, please submit if you know anybody with a fun side job.
Yes, not
or a stay-at-home job. Because when that guy was telling me about the building the furniture thing, that's got to get so old. And not old in a bad way, but it's more of like, do we have to do this? And I don't know. It's really funny. Like, imagine if your significant other was a YouTuber or like a streamer. Mm-hmm. That would be hilarious.
I mean, we stream on YouTube, and I am married to someone. So.
Well, like, there's this guy. Oh, what's his name? I'm going to show you a picture of him, and you're going to be like, wow, he's married, has kids.
Where are we going with this?
I want you to look.
Dick is off on a tangent.
No, I want you to see. This is his job. He gets paid a lot of money.
All right. This is riveting.
All right, it's Dr. Disrespect. You ever heard of him? You ever heard of this guy?
I don't believe that I have. I'm already in just based on his name alone.
So I'm going to show you a photo of this dude, and you already get it. Like,
what kind of school do you go to get your doctorate in disrespect? I'm wondering.
Well, this is him.
And how many years? Is this like a 2-year program?
This is his persona.
Oh my!
Right. So that's his persona. It's clearly a wig, right? So
is it? I don't know. It looks pretty natural.
I want
to
show
me.
you what he does, and he's married. So his wife comes home, and this is what this man does. So I'm gonna go through it.
Yeah, fast forward to the first.
So this is him, and he's just talking trash.
He's just playing video games.
I kid you not. And then he does this. He talks to the audience. It's like a show.
And he has 4.5 million subscribers.
But I was thinking, this guy, like, imagine being the wife.
She don't care. She's probably driving a Lambo.
Oh, yeah, I know. But it's, like, kind of funny. It's like, what does your husband do? Oh, he dresses up in a costume and goes online and talks to people on the internet.
And they start laughing, and then she says, but he's Dr. Disrespecto. And they're like, oh, I know that guy.
Oh, yeah. No, I get that.
I love him.
But because, like, this is it. This is all he does. And I'm very jealous of this man.
I can tell.
It's very rare that I'm jealous of anybody.
He gets to wear a wig, and it's not weird.
Yes,
and he gets to play video games
and talk trash.
Into a microphone.
To anybody.
Right. Not just to me, sitting across from you. I don't see why you couldn't do this. You already look a bit wild.
Yeah.
You already say some pretty weird stuff.
Yeah.
You do get in trouble with half the stuff you say because people misinterpret it as insults. You play video games. The only thing you're doing wrong is not monetizing it at this point.
That's true.
Dr. Dick Respecto.
So we are opening Audience of One gaming
Dr.
channel.
Dick Respect.
Yeah. Just call me Dr. Dick. That's right. And we'll have a segment goes in. That's what it's called. Dr. Dick goes in. Call of Duty.
Oh,
right?
man. I don't even know where to go now.
But
Nothing seems to flow at this point to the next story.
Again, Audience of One show at gmail.com. Send in your funny, like, weird side jobs, because that stuff amazes me. It really does.
Okay. Excellent. Side jobs. All right, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit here and talk about the words of the year. We did this last year, I think, as well. I can't remember what the word of the year was, but from Oxford University, the word of the year is brain rot. Brain rot is described as the supposed deterioration of a person's mental or intellectual state, especially viewed as the result of overconsumption of material, now particularly online, considered to be trivial or unchallenging. I thought that kind of played in perfectly with what we just got through watching with Dr.
Well, yeah, and like...
Enough of him, plenty of brain rot.
Well, because like there are some YouTube channels I really enjoy, and it's fun because it's not high production quality. I enjoy that.
Audience of One show. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and that was a wink, wink to the onesies. But then you find ones that are just it is so bizarre.
Yeah, that one's bizarre.
And brain rot is a good way to describe it.
Correct. The term increased in usage frequency by 230% between the year 2023 and 2024. But here's where it gets a little interesting, Dick. We have some controversy, or some controversy, as the Americans say it, between what is the word of the year, because that was from Oxford University Press. Well, apparently the AP says polarization is the word
and
of the
and you're
year.
saying the gauge of this is like the search.
This is what I'm saying is I don't understand. The Oxford said they polled 37,000 people, and then the AP, I'm assuming, might do it through Google searches, I'm guessing. But I just don't understand how we can't have more than one word of the year. That's kind of the point. And who is the official messenger of the word of the year? Who gets to decide this? I don't know. I don't like it, though.
Well,
this says a survey of more than 120,000.
I'm going to try something.
Polarization. I think polarization's lame. Let's go with brain rot. I like brain rot much better than that.
Oh, I can't do past year. Oh, it's so stupid. I did the Google search.
Oh, yeah. Now that makes more sense.
See, that's what I want.
Rather than surveying, we don't need to survey everybody. We have all the information right here through searches. So tell me, Dick, what was the highest search word?
I can only do 7 days. That's lame.
Oh. That's your own search.
So
Careful.
I went to an article. Top 100 Google searches, not necessarily words. Mm-hmm. So it's YouTube is number one. I mean, that's.
Oh, we've done this.
Yeah,
we did
so
this. We did this not too long ago. Yeah.
I guess YouTube's a word. But yeah, it is significantly higher than like number 8.
Well, brain rot and plenty of Audience of One will give you brain rot.
Near me.
That's very generic.
That's very smoking marijuana kind of brain thinking right there. I like that. Food near me.
Awesome.
I'm trying to see if there's any other funny ones. OnlyFans. Okay, that's funny. What's a traductor? Should I look that up? What does that mean?
I don't know. You'll just be adding to the stats if you do.
What is traductor? What is that?
I don't know. Why don't you
It's
Google
Spanish.
it?
I am. It's a Google. What is this? Oh, it's a translation thing.
Got it.
That's weird.
Well, from who decides on the word of the year, also who decides the faces on the United States currency or bills? Well, that would be the Treasury and the Secretary of Treasury, who has the final say over whose faces are on every U.S. bill. Federal law prohibits any living person's face from appearing on a U.S. currency, but beyond that, the exact criteria for deciding who appears on paper currency is unclear. Yes, go back to something that you just Googled, because I know where
What do
you're
you think traductor means?
Can I say it on air?
Yeah.
It's a truck and a tractor.
Traductor. It is
combo.
Spanish word for translation, and it's a translation tool.
Oh, good God. I didn't realize it was another language.
Yeah, me either. That's fun. I'm an idiot, and I love it. So,
Oh man.
I wanted you to experience that one with me in literal time.
Thank you. I'm glad I got to experience that with you.
Yeah.
Anywho, what was I saying? Oh yeah, the faces on the bill. Do you know there are 2 people right now that are on currency that were not American presidents? Do you know who those 2 people
On
are?
a bill?
On a paper currency.
I don't know. Is it Harriet Tubman one?
No, but there is a move to get her onto the $20 bill.
I thought.
It was passed in 2016. It was supposed to go into effect in 2020, but now they're saying it won't be until 2030. Harriet Tubman.
Can't get the art just right.
Yeah, that's Alexander Hamilton and Benjamin Franklin, 2 non-presidents that occur on
that's right.
the bills. That's right. And Alexander Hamilton, I believe, was the first Secretary of the
Yeah.
Treasury. So yeah, he's like, you're
I
going to
think
put
he was
my
a
face
vice
on
president,
there.
though, wasn't he?
I don't think so. Yeah, maybe he was. And Benjamin Franklin, of course, discovered kites and electricity and stuff. So we're going to put him on the 100. But I got to thinking about this because it says that the rules of putting people's faces on bills is largely still unclear. Well, I've got an idea, and you'll have to hear me out. And I think it's a pretty good idea because, 1, it will make our currency a little bit more fun, but 2, it will also help people save money. I think every year we need to put the most viral person of that year on the $20 bill.
Even like the cat that one year was a keyboard cat.
Sure, why not? This
Yeah.
year we could have like a Hawk Tua 20, right?
Oh, yeah.
That would be great.
I like
Or
it.
maybe a Diddy Fitty. Why not?
I don't know if he's viral.
Whatever. Somebody's got to decide. But my point is, these will become collector's items, thus
Yeah.
allowing people to save money, enhancing the value of the currency. Wouldn't you want to hang on to a Hawk Tua 100, in about 20 years? That thing's going to be triple the price.
Well, no, wouldn't it still cost the same as like $25 or $20?
No, because it's a collector's item.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I
Maybe
like
put
it.
Jake,
I really like
put
it.
Jake Paul on a $5 bill. That might go
Yeah.
down in value, but you never know. Hey, you take some swings,
Yeah, like Epstein.
You could have an Epstein. That might go down in value.
That'd be really funny.
Yeah.
Let's see
Just
what else.
my idea.
What else we got? How about that guy who killed the CEO?
Oh, Luigi Mangione.
Yeah, and it has to be that
By
face.
the way, that name, it does sound like if you've committed a crime and you're trying to avoid like the cops and you run off to Italy, and you want to fit in and be like, I'm the most Italian man ever. The cops will never find me here. That's a name you're going to make up. Luigi Mangione. That sounds like the most made-up Italian name I've ever heard. I'm sure you do. I'm sure that you and Luigi would get along wonderfully.
Isn't it kind of wild that people are obsessed with that?
Yeah, we never talked about it only because it's been talked ad nauseum.
But it's kind of wild that people like that. Like they want to donate money and do all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we don't have enough time. Maybe, you know what? Let's talk about that next episode, I think. We'll probably have a special day or
we
two
really
after
don't.
Christmas.
We really don't. I'm just
episode
saying
next
that
week,
weird.
but
I'm just
yeah,
commenting.
it's just we can go on a sidetrack on that though. But it is.
Oh, I feel like you've done some research.
No,
I've done zero.
I not any research. I just have
Well, you know his
thoughts
name.
on the whole thing. Yeah, I know.
I
I know his name, and I can't even think of the CEO he shot.
Yeah.
How sad that is, right? Anyways, as teased, Netflix filmmaker Chris Smith spent a year with the tech entrepreneur and biohacker Brian Johnson, our favorite Brian Johnson, who has come up on multiple episodes of The Audience of One. He's garnered significant attention for his ambitious quest to reverse aging and extend human lifespan. Well, this filmmaker, Chris Smith,
I already
is
know what question I'd ask him, like right out the gate.
the filmmaker. Well, he's making a film about this guy.
he's
It's going to be documenting.
Yeah, so I'm the documentary guy, and I'm like, oh, it's our first interview with Brian Johnson. I read that you wanted to do your sperm count and also your longevity as like an 18-year-old. And he's like, oh, yeah, I did this study. I'm like, okay. Well, did you test it out?
How do you know?
And what were the results? And
What was your constant, right?
yeah, well,
You had to have a
farm to table
yeah. You
joke.
had to have well, yes, that too. You had to have a baseline of performance,
I
right?
just like, again, you're a scientist kind of guy. It's like, tell us, what did you do? Who are these test subjects?
well,
Is he
Smith.
married? Do we even look that up? Do we even like see if Brian Johnson is married?
I don't believe that he is, but please look it up while I tell you a little bit about Smith, who's renowned for documentaries like Tiger King, embarked on a year-long journey to document Johnson's endeavors for his new film, Don't Die: The Man Who Wants to Live Forever, premiering on Netflix on January 1. And what's funny is it says, reflecting on his experience, Smith said that while he didn't adopt Johnson's more extreme practices, he did make some lifestyle adjustments.
Sucks.
A year later, I drink less, I go to bed earlier, and I wear a ring that tells me how bad my sleep is. Bro, you had to hang out with this Fruit Loop for a year to know to go to bed a little earlier and drink some more water? My God. Sounds terrible.
Whoa.
Johnson's many techniques have been built up into something that he calls his blueprint protocol. And the whole system is hugely expensive, costing him an estimated $2 million a year.
So I looked it up if he was married, and you're going to love this.
You've been married like 4 times, I bet.
No, well, this is in 2023 of February.
Uh-huh.
And he was engaged and dumped after she got breast cancer, and he cheated on her.
Okay. That doesn't sound like that's an act to make you any younger, sir.
Well, what's funny...
Having mistresses will only age you.
Well, what's funny about it, and she's, here, I guess who cares? But what's interesting about it is again, honey, it was for science. Like, that's what I want to hear. I want to know that's what he said. That's why he cheated on her. It's like, it was for science.
Yeah, I'm trying to live longer, babe. Science has shown that the more mistresses you have, it adds months to your life for each one.
It's like you weren't up for what the study required. I needed to perform 10 times a day.
Good God.
For studying, for the science.
That sounds terrible. And
I dig it, man. I mean, again, this guy, every time I hear him speak, I love it. Like, I would love to hang out with this guy. Just he's so full of it. I love it.
Oh, he's full of it.
Yeah. Full of 18-year-old body.
From his blood boy. I just think it's interesting that this guy has hung out with him for a year and has decided, yeah, maybe I'll drink a little more water. Maybe I'll get a little more sleep. Yeah. It's like, come on, man. If you're going to do this and go out there and say you changed some stuff, really say you changed some stuff. Getting blood from I got some blood from my son. It's great.
Well, see, and didn't we talk about how strange that would be in the future? That's the norm.
Yeah, we probably said something like that.
Like
Sounds like something we would have said.
Like you have to have a boy and you have to have a girl so your wife can have a blood girl. And it's like that's part of your upbringing. And it's like, oh, you got to do father-son time. What's that mean? Give me your blood.
It's going to become the norm, dude.
Well, if anything...
Basketball, shooting robots, and blood boys.
Who is it? Who's the one trying to tell everyone to have babies? There's someone...
Elon Musk.
Yeah, okay, Elon Musk. If anything, that's what he should be trying to sell. It's like, hey, you'll live longer if you have a kid, and if it's a boy, take his blood.
Hey, at least he's true to his word. He has like 12 kids.
Well, yeah, and then but
from
then
like
when
12
your
different
son
ladies.
comes of age to have children, he'll want to have a boy, so he can have a blood boy, and it becomes like a thing. And then you only need one. You don't need 10 boys.
Right. This is the one you said. This was like what was it? Harvesting DNA from that one chicken. They just have the one chicken in the back. They're constantly taking the DNA from. He's gonna have one kid, and he just stays in a vat. They just pull blood from him.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's a fun world to think about too.
Elon, maybe he's going to live forever if having multiple children with multiple ladies is a key to longevity. I'm going to live forever.
There's nothing wrong with that.
2 of NASA astronauts.
You know what's crazy about that?
Tell me something crazy.
So I met somebody who has 11 kids, all from the same baby daddy.
Okay.
And when she said that in that order.
That last one just fell out. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I go, why did you say it like that? Do you think people who have 11 kids have like multiple partners? And I
think generally speaking,
yes,
that's
yes.
the case. It's the Brady Bunch situation going on.
And I loved it. No, because the Brady Bunch is not the Brady Bunch situation because that's 2 separate families joining.
Yeah, sure, true.
She's like, I have 11 children. I'm like, oh, that's wonderful. She's like, but it's all from the same dad.
You got to add that in.
And I go, and that's when I asked her, I was like, are you trying to say like it's a bad thing or good thing?
Well, she just wants to make sure that I'm as freaky as you think I am right now.
It was just really funny to me.
Yeah, okay. Last story here. Second to last story. 2 of the NASA astronauts who have been stuck on the International Space Station since their Boeing spacecraft ran into problems in June will have to remain there even longer, the agency announced on Tuesday. NASA has pushed back the next astronaut's crew launch to the ISS from February to no earlier than late March to allow more time to complete processing on SpaceX's new space aircraft that will be used for the mission. This sucks, dude. Originally, these 2 people were told they were going to go up to the space station for like 8 days, I think. and they've been there since June. Can you imagine? You're like, oh man, I only packed enough suits for a week.
Hey, you know what would be great,
Damn
though?
it.
What would be great is I'm that NASA director or whoever. I go, hey, guys, we got y'all a Christmas gift because when you're not coming home for Christmas, it's a 4K version of The Martian. Good luck.
And a basketball shooting robot.
No, I think this is all ploy.
I don't know, man. This sounds horrible. Can you imagine being stuck up in space? I mean, it's not like you're just stuck in
But it's
traffic.
not-
That's bad enough.
It's not a weather thing.
No,
they
it's-
clearly have food enough to last this long. So
I mean, at some point, they're probably going to run out, though, right? You would imagine.
I don't. If they're at a space station, probably not. They're probably growing stuff.
Oh, yeah, like Matt Damon grew on the potato, right?
Yeah. So I mean, that's definitely possible. But
It says the 4 crew members aboard the station must await for the arrival of the next crew before they can depart, blah, blah, blah. That's all right.
did they miss a train or something?
Yeah, right. Oh, my God. Wait up, taxi. Oh, that sucks. All right, man. It's a pretty good time for the quick hit here at the end of the show. Dick, do you know who Elaine Esposito is?
No. I'm gonna click on it there.
She held the record for the longest period of time in a coma, according to the
wow.
Guinness World Records, having lost consciousness in 1941
That's sad.
and eventually dying in that condition for 37 years later. Man, and she has the record for the longest time spent in a coma. That does suck. I was hoping that maybe if you're in a coma for 37 years, at that point, do you want to wake up?
So okay,
that'd
because
be
that's
kinda
where I thought the
crazy.
twist was gonna be. Is she woke up?
Right.
So I had to look up who had the longest coma and then
woke up.
So
It's like 17 years, I think, right?
it is 27.
Good grief.
Yep. There was Abdullah was in a car accident that left her brain injury and coma. Blah blah blah. And that was and in 2008 she woke up. So it was 1991 to 2018. She showed signs of recovery, and then including calling out her son's name, and then she finally woke up in 2019.
That's got to be crazy because the change in like, okay, for instance, if you go into a coma in 1941
There's
and
one
you
at
wake up
29 years. Oh, 39.
and you wake up in 78, yeah, there's going to be a lot of changes in society and technology, but from 91 to 18, there's been some rapid changes in
this
technology.
Is great. This is what I love about these.
You're not even going to know how to fit into society at that point.
No, you'd be fine. Now there's rules on the most.
Where's
So,
the cord on my phone?
Look at this. Wallace spent 2 weeks in a coma and then lived in a minimally conscious state for 19 years.
Oh my God.
At the age of 39, but he doesn't count because it was a minimal.
Minimally,
He could say mom,
Yeah. Oh man.
but he
Poor
couldn't. He didn't
guy.
know that was his mom. He would just say mom.
That sucks, dude.
Does it?
Yeah. I don't know. Can you imagine, though, waking up and being like, seeing smartphones and the internet and everything else that didn't exist before? It would blow. Like, because we got introduced to these things slowly over time.
Yeah.
To have it just, bam, introduced to you all of a sudden right in front of you.
I feel like there's a movie about this.
It's got to be. If
Encino
there's
Man.
not, there's got to be.
Is that what Encino Man
I don't
technically
believe
is?
that's what Encino Man is about.
Oh, isn't that technically like?
I mean, I guess if you think about it, yeah, he was frozen and
Yeah.
he became unfrozen.
There we
yeah.
go. Well, I mean, it'd be very startling. Well, the thing that would be wild about it is you really know who cares about you.
Okay.
Because like, imagine if you were in a coma and the only person that came to visit you was like your son, like your wife left, like it's got a new family, you know, and then
true.
The daughter's like estranged, and you wake up and you're like, "Hey, who are you?" And it's like, "I'm your son."
Yeah, it'd be
and
weird.
you're like, "Oh, son, it's so great to see you. Where's mom?" She's married with other children.
So she has this thing called an OnlyFans page. I know you're not aware what that is. It's on
You can
something called the internet.
You can
Oh.
keep up with her for $19.99
Right.
a month.
Oh, you don't know what the internet is? Well, you can access it on your smartphone. I don't know. I'm from 91.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, see, that's what the true test to see who your real family and loved ones are. People who like stick around.
Unfrozen caveman lawyer.
Yeah.
It's an old Saturday Night Live bit.
Well, what's great about that too is like
I don't
that,
know. My simple mind can't process all
that
this.
estranged daughter you have. Imagine that movie moment at the end where you find her and she's waiting tables or something, and she has no idea who you are, and you're like, "I'm your father. Aren't you supposed to be in a coma?" I woke up, and you weren't there.
And why is this robot cat waiter giving me my noodles?
Yeah, I like it.
man.
That's gotta
I'm
be
done.
wild. That's gotta
I'm
be
done.
wild, right? That's gonna be wild.
Yeah, I think this was just a wretched
think it was-
show.
I think it
this
was
show
great.
was terrible. I'm sorry. You know what? I apologize. Let's delete the whole thing. Just kidding. We'll see you next
I
week,
loved
guys.
it.
I think we're going to be able to squeeze in another
we'll be
show
here.
before the end of the
We'll be
year.
here.
It's going to be
This
tight.
is our Christmas episode, so
This
happy
was our-
Christmas.
Merry Christmas
Christmas
to everyone. Absolutely. Next week, we'll be able to tell you Happy New Year, hopefully. We'll get
Yeah.
one in. I think
like
we can
it.
squeeze it in, buddy.
Of course we can. You're the one that's always not squeezing hard enough.
That's a discussion for off air. All right, buddies.
Bye, onesies.
Bye, onesies. Bye.